channel. This is Leo's Nerd Talk, and today we're going to be talking about the original Roadhouse. So let's get into that. Now, Roadhouse tells a story about a guy named Dalton, played by Patrick Swayze, who is hired to kind of rehabilitate this bar and bring it back to its early days and clean up all the roughery that's been going on. We'll also have to deal with this really rich guy that seems to be running the town and using everybody to get himself more richer. Now, I wanted to make a review on Roadhouse since the new remake of Roadhouse is coming out with Jake Gyllenhaal and Conor McGregor. I have never seen the original Roadhouse, so this is my first time watching this movie, and I gotta say, it was not exactly what I expected, but it surprised me in a lot of ways that I really enjoyed. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the pros for me. And my initial pro is that I just really love the vibe of it, right? This movie is very 80s, 90s vibe. I really just love all the music, all the styles, the cars, just that old school 80s badass action movie style. I just absolutely love that. And this definitely delivered all that aspect. Like I said, music, action with all the fighting. The fighting and choreography is pretty badass. Even like the final battles are pretty cool. I call them battles, like the final fights and everything like that are pretty cool. Just a bunch of this movie. It does a lot of things that you love from those old school movies, and it definitely still holds up to today. Now, I've heard a lot of people say that this movie is not a great movie and were surprised when they heard that they're making a Roadhouse remake. And I mean, I guess I can see where that's coming from because this movie doesn't really have a huge plot. It's not necessarily like an instant classic. Well, for me, it is. I don't know. I watched it today and I was like, I freaking love this movie. I watch this movie all the time. But it's definitely one of those movies that doesn't have a crazy plot. It's not, super dramatic. It's fairly simple and straightforward, but a lot of times that's kind of what you really need. Like, this movie is just a badass movie to watch whenever you want to, some kick-ass fight scenes, a kick-ass story, if you want to call it that way, even though it's very simplistic. Patrick Swayze, he was one of the biggest names of that era, so seeing Patrick Swayze kind of in his prime doing this role was honestly super badass. I really enjoyed all the characters as well. Like I said, Patrick Swayze's character is super badass. I just love how he's very like menacing and quiet and doesn't really, talk much. He makes his actions speak for him, and he definitely backs it up with all the rumors that are about him. And then you have kind of like his mentor in a way, the one that kind of taught him a lot of things that he knew. He's also like another super badass character. You have I can't remember her first name, but her last name's Leach, which is kind of like the romantic figure for Patrick Swayze's character. She's super sweet. She's super cool. They kind of connect from him having a wound during one of the bar fights, and she's a doctor, so she's a good romantic partner for him. I definitely believe the chemistry between them two. Even have just some of the other barmates, the other bouncers that are there. They're all pretty cool. They all listen to Patrick Swayze after he kind of makes himself known, like, yeah, I'm the real fucking deal, buddy. And then also like how, since he's here to clean up this bar, how progressively the bar gets nicer and nicer. Every time you kind of go back, there's a certain fence that's blocking like the live music so people can't throw bottles at them. That's gone. And then you have like the new chairs, the new fabric, the new artwork, the new neon Roadhouse sign, or not Roadhouse, but the new the new neon sign and stuff. So I just love that progression of the bar actually getting nicer and better throughout the entire film. And really, the last pro that I doesn't really have to do anything with the movie, but this just gets me excited for the remake. I hope the remake is good, if not better than this one. This one definitely feels very classic to me. Like I said, it's something that I can definitely throw on and watch all the time. And I hope the new Roadhouse is something that I feel very similar to. Now, heading on to the cons. And really, the only con I can say for me is that while Patrick Swayze backs up everything that he says, he's a badass, he can kick some fucking ass, that the final guy, the final fight of this dude that's rich, that's super old, doesn't even seem athletic, doesn't even seem like he knows how to fight, he gives him the most trouble, which is something that I had a problem with even like the original John Wick, where John Wick is just mowing through characters and bad guys, whatever's, and then the final guy is the one that gives him the most trouble, the best fight for him. And that's how I felt with this one. Where this guy, like I said, he's old. He seems like he like walks super slow. Like, he just seems like he's just not athletic, and he actually brings Patrick Swayze down to the ground, which is, it just doesn't work for me sometimes when you look at everything that's happened in the movie, how badass he's been, and how much ass he's been kicking, and then he kind of gets stopped. Which I understand plot wise why that happens, because for Patrick Swayze to kind of be alive. The rest of the town people that's kind of been under this guy's control because of how rich he is, they all kind of band together and defeat the final guy all together as a town and as a group. So that kind of restores the town's humanity and brings everybody back together and finally take down this kind of evil that's within the town. So I get that's the plot and that's what they were trying to go for. I just didn't like that, you know, Dalton all of a sudden is getting his ass kicked as well. So that's just kind of one little gripe there. But let me know what you guys think about the original Roadhouse. I never grew up with it, but to me it's an instant classic after I just watched it right now. So I'm definitely going to continue watching this throughout the years. But I would like to hear your guys' thoughts on this movie, and as well as if you guys are excited for the Roadhouse remake that's going to be coming out in about a week. I know there's already been a release on the 8th. It's been a big world premiere, but the rest of us are going to be able to see it on Prime on the 21st, I believe. So I'm super, super excited. Look out for my review of the new Roadhouse. And again, if you guys like Tom Anything movies, TV shows, or video game related, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. And I'll see you guys on the next review. Thank you.